It's fall. You know what that means. Stupid leaves, stupid leaf blowing. Hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Out here moving cars around so I can leaf blow the driveway. And you'll never believe it, guys. So go to park the van over here behind the Lexus, and it's terrible. It just gets stuck immediately. Gotta do something about that. It's not gonna work. Get stuck pulling into the Dairy Queen to get a blizzard. No worries though. I've got a plan. Here it is. So I decided I would just put these. I don't want to knock it out. Oh, it fits. I just put these slightly grippier tires on. Right? They're got a lot more tread. They're still 4-lug. I originally bought these wheels for the van, so I think just putting these tires on, that'll help me, get enough traction so I don't get stuck, right here. Should be no problem. All right. So I went ahead and took the drop blocks back out. Ooh. So shouldn't really be a problem. We'll just put these new ones on. Perfect. Well, they might rub a little. I think this will work. This is a good idea. So if you haven't noticed, obviously the plan here is to lift the van and run these 30-inch UTV tires. So the reason I took the sway bar off of the front when we lowered the van was because I had already noticed it had horrible flex. It was already getting stuck at stock ride height in the backyard. So my original plan for lifting the rear was I was going to do an axle flip, because I just felt like nobody had probably ever done that before. I wanted to do an axle flip kit and do the axle underneath the leaf springs, which is good for, if you look, it's like 4 or 5 inch lift right there by doing nothing. But these incredibly short shackles and these quite short leaf springs are actually one of the limiting factors here. This thing has only about 3 or 4 inches of droop travel, which is why it was so pitiful at flexing in the rear. So what I'm actually going to do to get the lift we want in the rear is I'm going to install longer leaf spring rear shackles, which will bring the leaf springs way down. It's actually going to probably help our pinion angle for once we lower it, or lower the axle, lifting the van. But the longer swing on these longer rear shackles will actually allow more droop travel. So if I had just done the axle flip, we would have gotten all the height we needed, but we still wouldn't have had good articulation and probably would have still gotten stuck. So the plan is leaf shackles, big tires, clear the fenders. Then we got to figure out what we're going to do about the front end. I got an idea. So for our lift shackles, we have these incredibly cheese ball available at most parts stores. Extra flimsy lift shackles with adjustable height. Now, are these the best solution? Nope. Homemade is actually way better than this, but these are off the shelf, new hardware, brand new, awesome. And I don't have to modify our stock shackles just in case I decide, wow, lifting this van was idiotic. Why did I do that? And I can return it to stock and or lower it again. So these are what we're putting on today. First step is going to be support the rear axle, have the truck, van, whatever, car on leaf or on jack stands up front. And we're going to unbolt these rear shackles. Easy enough, right? Keeping in mind they are 34 years old and 35 years old. and they're probably going to be crusty. So I've already PB blasted them, and now hopefully we can blast these nuts off. Most of your Japanese OEM shackles are going to look like this. So on this side, it was hard to get out past the muffler here. Your results may vary. However, one thing I did notice is this is shouldered ever so slightly larger than the hole here. So the right thing to do is definitely have a machined sleeve. It's big enough to fill that void. My goal is probably just to grease the crap out of them and let them ride. So we've got the upper portions loosely mounted. If you look, we are even down to this hole. It's already an inch or so longer, which equates to about ½ an inch of lift. So we're gonna ride it all the way down to here, skip the BS, maybe even end up here. But for now, we're gonna go to the middle hole. So we're gonna droop the axle by letting the jack down. And right about there should, yeah, be able to throw a bolt through. And we'll kind of semi-tighten down both sides. Take a look at it. So, earlier, from about here to the top of the tire, was a little under 5 inches. Now we're just at 6.5. But wait, the jack was still under it. So, yeah, about 6 3/4 inches of travel downward. And there's more. But anytime you're lifting something this much, you do want to make sure your brake line, right now, ours is under tension. It's not going to be long enough. That will rip if you're flexing the thing out off-road. So, for one, we're going to need a rear, longer brake line. You want to make sure e-brake cables aren't stretched out like crazy, because they'll break too. And then you want to make sure your drive shaft isn't going to fall out of the transmission. And, well, she looks mint. So, let's throw these big silly tires on and see what this looks like with all, and I do mean all, of the rake in the world, because the front is still slammed. I don't know, guys. We might have to go to the full length of those shackles, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I want a monster truck. Let's see it on the ground. We made a dragster. Look at this. This is crazy, huh? Yep. I'm gonna enjoy that. Let's see if we can do the front. First things first. Oh, we might have some slight clearance issues here. Oh, anyway, let's take it all in. I mean, come on, it's a friggin' monster truck. Definitely needs more lift. Yep. We might have to trim the fenders here a little bit. I think I got the tool for that, though. So, let's take some measurements. Yep, not gonna work. huh? Perfect. So, first of all, I want to save my mud flap here, so pop that off. Okay, now with this professional body sole, we'll make some slight clearancing. Yep. Eye protection, children. Eye protection. Always use it. I'm going to use the safety squints, but should be using goggles. Not bad. I stayed on my line. Who even am I at this point? Okay. One. Now, front side's going to be a little difficult. We got a front lip extension thingy. That's the door. Well, then behind the door, there's the fender. Just going to cut the door. Yep. Now, the seal, that seals against water coming into the van, is on the door, so we can't cut past that. Then we'll have a leaky van. Nobody wants a leaky van. All right. Extremely accurate. Be a body guy. Pretty good at this. Now, gotta get rid of this guy. That's just some 10s, I think. Well, Brooke. Now, I did just want to hammer this in flat. I think, though, I'm going to trim it first and then hammer. We'll probably end up having to cut way more once this is actually done. Maybe a little too much. It's fine. Yep. Now we'll just move some stuff around gently with the hammer. We ought to be all right. See if it fits. In short, no, we absolutely still do not even kind of fit. But it's on there. So we'll probably have to address that more, but we're losing daylight. Let's lift the suspension. So first of all, obviously this is torsion bars, and we torsioned her down to the ground last time, but got a better solution for getting her back up there. So this vehicle has independent front suspension, dual A-arms, spindle, okay? Now, very similar, extremely similar actually, to the 86 to 96, don't quote me on that, front Toyota pickup, Tacoma, and T100 front suspension, 4Runner included. Not the same, but very similar design. So, on those trucks, the upper control arm, well, that's the torsion bar. That's our front spring. So, first of all, if you pop this ball joint free, make sure you're holding this control arm up with something, or you've got all the tension off of it at the torsion bars. So, we're gonna make sure we have the torsion off. We're gonna blast these ball joints off. I bought brand new ones because I plan on putting this thing through the ringer. So we need some strong suspended parts. And then we're gonna put a ball joint spacer in here. That's right, ball joint spacer for a 86 to 96 Toyota IFS pickup truck. And it's gonna work. Probably. Yep. Our first step here is gonna be blasting this ball joint off. Dang, that was kind of cool. So Monte Carlo on like 26s. It was sick. Where's my other jack? Just in case. We're gonna support her down here. Wrap on that bad boy a couple times. And that's out of there. Neat. Yep. And loose enough tension on it so we're not gonna smash ourselves in there. All right, now we're gonna unbolt the ball joint from the control arm. One ball joint extracted. It's actually in really good condition. Maybe kind of dry, but actually seems really, really good. So, here's what we got. Re-drilled for the van bolt pattern, but I don't know if it's going to fit in the control arm, so we got to test that. Oh, that's going to need some trimming. Lots of it. Lots of it. All right, so here's where we're at. Beveled the edge. Opened up a couple of my holes here a little bit too. And actually I was able to open up the control arm there a little bit. So these bolts are excessively longer than they need to be. I don't know if this ball joint spacer kit came with directions or not, but I certainly didn't read them. But boy, those are crazy long. I guess it shouldn't really affect anything, but that's gonna be our lift. It's about a 2-inch spacer. Should probably work out to, at the end of the control arm, 2.5, 3 inches of lift at the spindle. But that just moves the spindle down, the lower control arm down, and keeps our upper control arm happy with the same amount of articulation it used to have. So once we put it together like that, we've just applied lift, and then we can torsion bar it up too. Kind of want to make a spacer for the lower control arm so I can space the knuckle down there too. But I think I'll probably get the uppers both done before doing that. All right. Jesus Christ. These new ball joints use a much larger nut.
Very best knife, bro. Yes, sir.
Yep. Now we've got the spacer in. Gonna go ahead and just kind of a middle ground. Run the torsion bar back up. I think our shock's actually gonna really limit our travel down. Probably need longer shocks. That'll just be a vague adjustment for the ride height there. Well, one thing's for sure, we definitely got the front higher. Just gotta jack the car up more to get the tire out of there. Still gotta jack it up more. Jeez. Man, that's cool. Oh man, this is cool. Oh man, this is cool. All right. Both upper ball joint spacers are installed. That's her on the ground. She gained a lot of positive camber. Probably from the ball joint spacers. Definitely gonna have some clearance issues here. So, now the lower control arm does have camber adjustment in it. So hopefully I can take some camber out there. Then I'll need to set the toe again also. It's a lot of positive camber actually. That ball joint spacer really moved the ball joint outwards. Boy, that's cool looking though. So next we need to, I didn't actually get to see how much she drooped when we put her on the ground. Still hitting, so it's probably not settling all the way. But I need to see how much droop it has, see if we can run the torsion bars up a little bit higher, get some more clearance. There's quite a bit of droop in there. We could probably go way up on the torsion bars. That's fully drooped. So let's run them torsion bars up a little bit. So looking at the threads, it's actually still lower than stock on the torsion preload. So we can go way up. If we have the right socket. even better. We're getting close, guys. That's some lift there. Definitely gonna have to bring the rear up. That's cool stuff, man. Definitely gonna have to trim some more too. So I took it up to the last hole on the shackle. She got real lift kit. It's funny because it's still like not a lot of wheel gap here, but it's a lot higher. You might recall, I was pretty excited about finding these Ranchos for really cheap the other day. I think I found the perfect place for them. You might even think I knew about it all along. Oh yeah, let's throw these on there. Well, that didn't quite go to plan. Turns out these Ranchos have these sleeves in them. Appears to be why these were returned, and that's why they're in the scratch indent, because they've definitely been boogered with. So that won't fit over the shoulder of the shock mount tabs on this, so gotta extract them. Pain in my bum. Already did one. Guess we'll do this one too. All right, so we'll get some lube down in there. Use our high-tech bushing extractor device, Doodad 1000. It's a bolt. Yep. And a socket. And a nut. And a couple of washers. Hopefully this thing's got the threads can survive another round of this abuse. She's a moving. How much did we get? Not a lot. Definitely ran the bolt up too far. Got the nut onto the shoulder. Definitely shouldn't have done that. It's not good for the threads. But that should be out of there far enough. My little 3.5 inch vise here, it's really not up to the task. Vices are expensive. Just like that. One. Gotta get this one out. Then we can throw the Ranchos on the van. Oh yeah. All right. We're getting somewhere. Keep in mind the front suspension. Suspension works. Steering does not. We are nowhere near clear around the tires on the front end. It hits everything. And I'm not sure. Kind of looks like the rear heater core is right behind that passenger front tire. Looks like I might have to delete that. Get you a band and a man like Jay, and trees, chainsaws, sawzalls. Well. So, definitely did some more massaging down in the fender wells. I did delete the rear heater core completely. Gotta move the shield off of that. Been using the thing around the yard. Took down a tree in the front yard. Use this thing to move all the logs and stuff to the back. On a much more somber note, wrecked the Ford. Yep. I'm fine. I was on my way out to pick a project. Hopefully, I might. Well, probably won't. But I was on my way to pick up another project car, and someone pulled in front of me. I was pulling the trailer on a wet road. We just didn't stand a chance. So the Ford is down for the count. Might make it a little hard to pick up projects. So, dang it. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, the van, however, well, she's been an absolute unit. And I mean, God, it's cool. I want to keep it, but I think I'm going to be selling this one. Did end up, I added 2 of the springs from the rear of the Datsun 620 project. Keep these around for another project. I took 2 of the stock van springs out, and I put 2 of the Datsun springs in the pack. The van pack was very, very flat. So I wanted to add some with an arch, but I didn't want to add a lot of spring rate. So basically I did add a leaf, but also subtract a leaf set up on this. Ended up netting me another inch of rear lift. The front is pretty good. It still rubs quite a bit on full lock or with weight, but kind of not concerned so much. It's getting close to where I want it though. Kind of like to add a spare or 2 spare tires to the rear, full size. Obviously, be nice to have a 30-inch spare instead of a dinky little baby spare. And the rear of this van really, really needs some extra weight. Ideally, if you were going to wheel it, it would need a locker or a welded diff. But I think I'm going to leave this one alone and send her on her way once I get the fuel tank back in and wrap this thing up. Had a lot of fun with this van though. Charlie approves it.